Hey, y'all.
Welcome.
Hi.
Yes, we are back for the Family Empire Houston panel. It is Shade in the City. And your girl, Billy.
I look all.
What happened? You broke up. I didn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yes. You're coming in clear now.
No, I said y'all are all bright over there. I said I look all dark over here. Y'all all bright over there.
Trish got the light blinding me.
All of the lights.
She turned on the lights in here, baby.
Hey,
what
Dad,
did you do? Something happened to your sound. Is that me or you?
What?
You sound all of a sudden you sound far away.
Oh no.
It might be me.
Can y'all hear us clearly? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, let the people in it. See it because it could be me.
But yeah, if you haven't already, y'all, sorry we're late. Blame me and Nels. That is absolutely us.
No, just Trace.
Don't do that. I couldn't find my mouse, y'all. I don't know.
And you need to change that.
Oh,
it ain't just you here.
But anyway,
I guess it's me.
Okay, thank you, Des. Thank you for confirming. If you haven't already, y'all, please make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button for us. Let the algorithm do what it do, and let us know that we're here. And go ahead,
I'm gonna go out and come back in. I'm gonna come right back.
Okay, well, it's cool. I'm gonna run an intro and then we'll be back to go through this episode. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Let's get shady.
I gotta do that.
Oh yeah, I forgot we did. Y'all. Welcome back. Really B, you good?
I can hear you, yeah, because I don't know, it just sounded weird, but I'm back. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Can y'all see and hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. We are
right,
here.
Let's
locked
get this
and loaded. Welcome back, guys. I missed y'all. I miss Really B. Yes.
Damn, I know, right? It's been a minute.
Kept us apart.
I know the Olympics kept us apart, y'all. I don't like it. Well, me and Really B wasn't apart. I was literally texting her like, girl, what is this event about? What is this going on? I was getting her all the details on the Olympics. I was like, thank you, Really B, because I didn't know. But anyway, y'all, so we jumping into this episode of Family Empire Houston. This is season 1, episode 5, which I thought was a weird place to take a break. But again, I guess they had no control over it because of the Olympics. What was the name of this episode? It was a family showdown, hoedown, or something like that.
I don't even know.
Y'all are terrible. Usually I'm the one. Okay, hold on. I got it. No, I don't. I thought it was family showdown to hoedown or something like that. But anyway, so we kick off the episode, y'all. And basically what's happening is Chris, as we know, we left off, he's presenting his own contract. And he says he feels like, he's Kobe in the fourth in this situation, in this equation. And that they should be building the team around him. Okay. And so he shows them the adjustments that he's made to the contract and says he's willing to keep compensation the same. But he also wants to focus on his business. But he also knows that his wife and his family are the priority, which I said, okay, Chris, you better. That's a smart decision. Mm-hmm. Now they are surprised, but they then come with this. We want an exclusive contract when it comes to real estate. We don't want you representing any other real estate companies. Like, you are ours, which I don't.
He said yesterday's price, not today's price.
Okay.
And that's right. He said, well, wait a minute now. That's a horse of a different color. Okay. Right. You want exclusivity. Now that's money.
Mm-hmm. Look, you thought when it came to the money, the wife backed him up for that.
Exactly. Right. But I understand it, because if you have a certain signature style, he's good at what he does. Mm-hmm. Right. And they're like, we want our video to look a certain way. We want it to look a certain way. And so this is what we want. And if you don't want to work for any other real estate, so it don't blend in, that's smart. But now we are talking about now it's a different conversation, right?
See, Nicole, I think she was trying to downplay him and downplay what he does so that she can get him for a cheaper price, but he ain't going for it.
Well, is it just me, or did I also get the vibe that they clearly knew he was doing other business dealings with other real estate, and that's why they wanted to lock him in exclusive?
I don't know. I honestly think that's whatever happened, which we did not get the full story, and that's fine. There was some breakdown between Chris and Nicole. I don't know what it was. I don't know where it was. But I did notice that in his contract, he negotiated that he wasn't going to be there every day. I did notice that he negotiated 2 days in the office.
2 days in the office.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest with you and say, I absolutely understand that, because if he has shoots in other locations, it's stupid for him to come in the office just to pack up his equipment to leave just so you can see his face. Like, that's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a matter of taking care of administrative work, fine. I'll come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'll, whatever meetings we need to have face-to-face, any type of client consultations. But if he's actually going out and filming houses and creating content at the spaces where you guys are selling and all of that, like, for him to have to worry about driving back and forth just to be like, hey, that was, to me, I understood. I understood it. But I also feel like if Nicole felt like he was using their resources and their time to work for other clients, then I understand that.
Ooh, I didn't think about that part, really, B. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, Symmetry, yeah, Nicole does try to play him down. And I did reference your comment, Lil Baby 245. Yeah, the exclusivity contract without the proper money attached to it. Other than that, I'm for the streets. Love it. And then so basically they said before we can discuss any type of monetary compensation for these exclusivity, you're on a probationary period. We're gonna work and see how it goes. So they give him what, a 60-day, was it?
Yeah,
60-day probationary period. Right. And he actually agreed to the terms, but we all know that he only agreed to it because he's married to Chiquita and he wants to make sure he don't rock the boat too much because he want to keep his steady paycheck. Right.
I thought it was a good negotiation. I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was a good negotiation. The thing about a negotiation is that, or a compromise, is that nobody should walk away 100% happy, because that means that everybody had to give up something in order to come to the middle. And I thought it was a good negotiation. I don't think anybody walked away with 100% everything they wanted, but I think both of them walked away with a better understanding, a clear boundary of these are your deliverables. This is what I want it to look like. And I don't think they had that at first. Like he said, we didn't have this at first. Basically, I needed a job. Y'all hired me, and we kind of figured it out as we went along. So now we're starting at the same spot. Everybody understands. Everybody has the same expectations. I thought it was a fair negotiation. I thought it went really well, honestly. I do. I really do. I think it went pretty good.
I did. I mean, again, I love the fact that he's being responsible. We can all have dreams and aspirations that we want to do, right? Hence, me and Really B, all of us sitting up here would love to quit our jobs, our normal 9-to-5s, and just do this. Right? Put it in the universe, speak it. But the reality situation is, until that brings us some type of real monetary where we can cover
bills.
We're gonna be out here clocking in the 9-to-5s and then doing this nighttime shift. Okay.
Right. On the night shift.
Right. Little Baby said, I respect businesses wanting to get a good bargain, but as soon as someone who does creative services, folks do like to get things for dirt cheap, and I'm sure they're looking for a family discount. Yeah, but I mean, to that point, Little Baby, I also think that there would be no situation or no job where he could still get paid and not come to work, and that type of situation. And they were making, because he's family, he also got perks that but a normal gig worker.
I'm sure he did.
Apparently, wherever he was working, he was clocking in, doing the work, and feeling well compensated for it. So wherever he was, he could have continued to do that.
That was a great question, Symmetry. And to your point, that is good. Do they provide health benefits or do the employees have to find their own? What about, that's a good point. Health benefits factors in your whole.
Well, benefits never came up, so I'm going to assume that the benefits is covered. But remember, his wife works there as well, so maybe he's on her plan. I don't know.
True. But I know, I will say, y'all, Jaquita did jump in the comments. I'm just going to say, shout out to Jaquita for one, jumping up in the comments, clearing some things up. First of all, yes, she said that when we did discuss, when I asked about, well, did they own the house? She said she bought that house before she even met Chris. That is her house, but she wanted to level up and move into a bigger house. So that was what that was about. But she still does part-time at the pharmacy, y'all. She's still in her bag. That's the type of hustler she is. So shout out to Jaquita for clearing that up. I love that.
And see, I would think with as many employees as they have, don't they have to provide benefits?
I would think so too.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a benefits package. I'm pretty certain.
As long as his work is good and on time, he doesn't need to be in no office. He's not their employee. He doesn't get a W-2 from them. Well, we don't know. The HR.
No, I think he was getting a W-2 from them. I think he's not now, but I think he was then. He wasn't an employee. But even with that, like when I worked for the union, if I had a meeting at a school, or I had a meeting with a principal, or I had to meet with somebody in the community, and my meeting was at 10 o'clock, it didn't make sense for me to drive into the office to be like, hey, y'all, and then leave out 30 minutes later. That was just stupid. You know what I mean? I'm in the field. As long as I'm let them, we had a calendar, and I had to put it on my calendar. I have a meeting, and they knew where I was. And this was before, this was years ago. So it wasn't even like they could track my phone kind of thing. But we had a calendar, and they were like, oh, she's at a 10 o'clock meeting. So I'd be in the office around noonish. But if I had back-to-back, there were days I didn't go in the office at all because I literally had back-to-back meetings. And I was like, I could be anywhere in DC. Our offices were in downtown DC. It didn't make sense for me to go from one side of DC to downtown DC for what? Just so you could see my face? Like, I'm here. I'm doing my job. Now, if you start getting complaints and you start hearing people say she's never where she's supposed to be, or she's always late, or she always leaves early, well, now we have a conversation. But if I'm where I'm supposed to be, that doesn't make sense.
Really big. Look, when you said that, I was going to say, you just made me think of the Cat Williams quote. They know I'm going to be there. They going to be there. And they know I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability.
Exactly. That's why I said, whatever the backstory is, and again, at this point, it doesn't even matter. But whatever the backstory is, it sounds like the trust was gone. Chris got pissed off at her. And you're right. It sounds like Chris did something that he wouldn't be able to do at no regular job. He just stopped showing up. You can't do that. You can't get mad and be like, but because of the family connection, I think all of them stepped outside of bounds because there was a family connection. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think that it was a good negotiation, and I'm glad they were able to come to it. Later on when they was at the rodeo, I feel like Nicole just didn't know what to say. So that's why she was like, I'm glad we worked this out because I was going to fire you for real. That wasn't necessary. But
I thought it was just me. I said, now you got to go poke. You got to go poke.
But I feel like she always does stuff like that.
I didn't know if that was a situation where production was like, go talk to Chris, and she didn't know what else to say. Because it was so weird. It was like, y'all have resolved it. He's there. He's working. He's getting content. Yeah.
And then you're talking about how proud you are that he's actually doing the work.
Right. You don't have to, and that's the other, you don't have to keep saying it. Like, and you are on probation. And I got my eye on you. And that's just so unnecessary.
I can't do because it's giving micromanager.
And exactly. Exactly.
Well,
and the fact that he does create content, to me, the proof is in the pudding. If he's not in the office for 2 days, but he's uploading videos from 5 different houses, I'm not understanding what the issue is. You see,
and I just say, I follow most of them now. And when I say Chris is well worth his worth,
his stuff is good.
His content, especially on this break, they've been pumping out content during this break. And when I tell you, he does his thing. Oh my God. They when they said exclusivity, I said, oh, I completely understood because I was like, no, that brother don't play. That brother don't play. He's good at what he does.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, but either way, I just thought it was a good negotiation. So that was cool. That was cool. What was next? I don't have my notes. Sorry.
Jamisha.
I'm gonna go and quiet.
Jamisha, she went to go get her Aunt Cheryl and her Aunt Charlotte.
Oh, child, yes.
Trying to schmooze them over, brought them some flowers, nice little bouquet and everything. And yeah, they really wasn't going for it. Okay. Basically, you know, she's talking about, of course, the land. And Cheryl told her, look, there's the G's, G1s, G2s, and then the G3s. Okay. And Jamisha tried to tell her, you know, real estate is really not your lane. Okay. And told them they was looking for a payday. Aunt Charlotte said, no. Pipe that down. Okay. We're going to have to calm down that tone, boo. This is not a payday for us. It's our inheritance, which, I mean, really is valid. Okay. And really, she didn't do no convincing at all. I really feel like she talked her way right out of it rather than smooching them over. I'm sure they appreciated the flowers, though.
First of all, I felt like you showing up with them flowers and stuff, girl. I just think it's a different way.
That know what's up now.
I honestly feel like it's just a different way that people look at money. And I don't know these people, so this is not a personal indictment on any of these women and men. It's really not. But it honestly is just a difference. It's the short term versus the long term. You're saying, yes, this is my inheritance, but an inheritance can also be a long term thing. An inheritance can be equity in a company. You can inherit stock. That don't mean you go out and cash it out the next day. That is your inheritance. So the word payday offended her because that's what it was. You're looking at the quick money, and it ain't nothing wrong with that. However, I'm going to continue to say what I said from the first episode. If this is a family of real estate, this is just a no-brainer for me. But again, I do think it's the short term versus the long term. And this I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong. I'm not saying that you're wrong if you're looking at the short term or you're right if you're looking at the long term. I'm just saying I think that's the difference. And the G1s, they're not interested in business. They're just not. They just want the money.
Yeah.
I thank you for saying that, because that was why I was raising my hand, because I was about to ask you, do you really think that if the G1s were given all this money, would they even pay off their houses, or would they just do whatever? And would the generation 2 even see it? Would they see any remnants of what the G1s get? And I think that's what maybe they're concerned about, or they just really want to be able to make it like a legacy type of situation.
It sounds to me, based on comments that have been made on the show, I'm not reading into it. It sounds to me like they have had money given to them in the past, and I ain't gonna say they didn't do right by the money. I'm just gonna say they looking for more money. I don't know what they did with it. I mean, they raised their family, I guess. They took care of they bought I don't know what they did, but it sounds to me like they have had money given to them.
Is it true?
That's what it sounds like to me, Chair.
Well, all right, then I think we're moving on. This is Jamisha spending good fake family time. Okay, I won't say fake family time, but she's spending good quality family time with the with her, family. I was gonna say boys, but I think there was a girl in there somewhere. I say fake because she was fake playing football. But she explained that she really didn't know nothing about it. And I was like, girl, stop. I was like, this is clearly for TV.
That was so mean.
Oh, it was you. That was you. That really was Nels in that moment. Because she didn't know, I'm the quarterback, I'm the running back. What you want me? What am I supposed to do? What is my goal?
Now, I was sitting there like, what is going on here? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Right. So basically, it was funny because we were watching this together, and Nels was like, I feel like this was a scene was her venting. And I was like, well, I caught it, but it was a paragraph.
Yeah.
And
I have,
basically
like,
she
3
explains
sentences.
to what's her husband's name? I forget.
Justin.
Right. Justin, thank you. She
Justin.
explains to Justin that they're getting into the luxury brand and she wants to step more into being the face because Nicole has been more of the face, but Nicole don't even got the broker license. Apparently
that was interesting that Nicole, that we found out that Nicole don't even have the broker's license.
Because I thought they both were brokers. I definitely thought
I thought so too. I thought they were both brokers as well. I found that to be very interesting.
Is that a Martell type of situation?
Oh, well, where Mel had to build his license, but Martell was the face. But basically,
to a certain extent, yes, but not as much on that level. But to a certain extent, yeah, because there's certain things you can't do if you don't have a broker's license. You can't have a brokerage without a broker's license. You can have a real estate group. You know what I mean? You can start a real estate company, but
Absolutely.
real estate company is different from a broker. And if you don't have a broker's license, you can't be a brokerage.
So, theirs is a brokerage group, isn't it?
Yeah.
Theirs is a brokerage. Yeah.
That's really Jamisha's business then.
Yeah.
I guess.
And see, I think me and Really B, the way that they made it sound when they came on, it was
It's
a
like
half and
it's
half.
theirs,
It was
yeah.
a 50-50 deal.
Yeah.
But so basically she wants to create her own brand, talks about starting her own podcast, and just basically talking about managing all these different hats. And she wants to be able to do it all. So I think we pretty much covered that. Anything you ladies want to touch on from that scene?
I told you it wasn't giving much to me. So
yeah, it just sounded like you said. It just sounded like she was venting and throwing a lot of stuff out there. I don't know, but yeah, no.
Gotcha.
Well,
wait a minute. Little Baby said, so if real estate isn't their lane, why is she wanting them to do this development? She doesn't want them to do the development. She wants the grandmother to sell her and Nicole the land so they can do the development.
Right.
That's the whole purpose. That's the whole point. They're trying to skip that generation, and that generation was like, no. That is our land. It comes to us first before it goes to y'all. Excuse me. Something's in my eye.
She's just trying to convince them to make them okay with it, so the grandma will be okay with it.
Basically.
I was gonna say you played that off real well because I would have been here smacking myself in the face and all the time.
You normally do. You normally do. Be looking like you're ready to break something.
Mm-hmm.
So Nicole is showing off her outfit for the hoedown on Saturday. Apparently.
She said apparently.
Hubby,
y'all know she about to go in.
Hubby is
Larry happened to be off.
He's gonna be off on Saturday. He ain't gonna be with his other girlfriend, his other family, whatever the hell he got going on. So he will be at
that
the family.
Is all alleged.
He will be at the family event with his real family or first family, because we know there's definitions apparently.
Right,
Keisha,
there's definitions.
Ask Keisha, but no, they married.
Oh, okay.
They married, so it would be totally different.
Y'all see that, right?
What?
There
you She let him know that an adoption specialist will be there super last minute. Okay, but he ain't surprised. He said he found out everything last minute. This is what she does. I think she did it because she knew he would not be interested.
I disagree. I don't think she did. I think she told him. I think she absolutely told, just like she said, you don't listen when I talk. I believe.
No, hear me out.
She probably told him while he was texting his girlfriend and he wasn't paying attention.
So, okay. So hear me out. Really big. To that point, I was going to say, I don't know if it's editing or if this is what's like there. I mean, I'm not saying there's like a breakdown in their marriage, but that particular scene showed us they already said they have issues with communication. And now we see here again, you're talking about bringing another child into y'all home and y'all can't even get on the same page about when y'all about to meet with it. So I think that, like I said, I don't know if it was an editing thing, but I think this was purposely shown, and I don't know why, to show that there is a clear disconnect somewhere. And
I agree. I mean, I agree that there's a disconnect, but I do believe that she told him. I agree with you. I think.
Oh, when they were passing, when she was waking up to get her hair done, and he was going to bed.
Well,
whenever they had the conversation, but I don't believe that was the first he heard of it. I think that I believe exactly what she said. Like I said it, you just because the way she said it was like it happens all the time. Like you just don't listen as usual. Like I feel like, and again, I feel like you're right. I feel like because the way they was sitting on that couch, and the way that confessional was edited, I was like, oh Lord. I was like, this ain't looking good for them, because it absolutely looked like this is what they go through and that they're in a bad space. That's my opinion. I'm not putting nothing on nobody's marriage. I ain't speaking.
Right. That's what I was like. I ain't trying to put it up, but it's
right.
not.
I ain't speaking nothing into existence, but it did look
and
like.
After they talked to the adoption specialist, it didn't sound no better, because it don't sound like he's on board.
Well, it definitely sounded like he was like,
right.
Yeah, basically they sat down with the adoption specialist and the lawyer. They got all the information, the necessities that they needed. And yeah, like Trey said, basically he really wasn't on board. What he said was the most important thing to him was whether Leighton was comfortable with it. If she's not, then it's an absolute no for him. But really, he already seems like he's up in the air about it,
right?
Which doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, he really don't sound like he's on board at all.
Got a whole nother family, so he ain't worried about what's going on over here.
All I'm gonna tell y'all,
it's her reaction.
I know.
I swear I be
doing this. She doing this to post it, right?
I do reactions,
right? All I'm gonna say is, God forbid, if we find out 2 seasons from now Nella's right, we will never hear the end of it. We will never hear the end of it.
I make you replay scenes,
right?
Of me right.
She gonna pull a Simone on her. Shout out to Simone.
Yeah. replay our own shit.
Right.
Child.
But yeah,
it definitely sounds like they're not on the same page with this adoption. Now that is the truth.
Well, here's my thing. If you're in, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm not married, so y'all in the chat can jump in, say what y'all want to say, give your 2 cents. But I feel like if you're already this disconnected communication wise, why are we talking about bringing?
Hey, we was just talking about you.
Hey, Chris, look, I slid in his DMs. I told him come through. Hey,
we was
Chris,
just talking about you.
But
Kobe in the 4th.
Shout out to Kobe.
What's up, Chris?
Look, you really are. We ain't in the 4th quarter, Kobe, but thank you for coming through. But no, I will say that I feel like I wouldn't even be having this conversation about bringing another person into this household when we're so disconnected, because as the specialist said, if you were to get divorced, you're still, and you saw when she was like, you still got to pay child support. It's just like a regular, you saw he was like, oh. And I was like, that's not what we should be thinking about, right? I mean, we got to put it all on the table, but I just felt as if it was again, I don't know. I feel like they're doing this for a reason. Again, we know how shows work, how they edit.
Right.
I feel like they're doing this for a reason.
We already said they be downplaying you, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already said that your work is great over on your Instagram, and that you definitely do your
Chris, absolutely. Yeah, I did say that. I've been seeing the work. I don't know if that was your work, but I assume, because hopefully you under contract, but I absolutely assume everything that I've seen over the past 2 Olympic weeks that we haven't got, y'all.
Not the 2 Olympic weeks.
The 2 Olympic weeks that we got. It's been a mess. Look, I've been wanting to move. Chris, I ain't got no business in Houston, and I've been wanting to move, okay? Because I ain't got now about a bit $1 million, but I'm trying to move. Okay.
I'm gonna say this though. I do think she legitimately wants to have another child, but I also think that there may be a part, and I don't know these people, this is my opinion. There may be a part of her that feels like another child might fix it. And that's the worst reason to bring a child into anything.
Right. Oh, okay. Chris said, what they don't show you, I was asking them for schedules and they wasn't responding to me. So I backed off. Now they want to make it seem like I wasn't showing up. Okay. Thank you for that insight, Chris.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Chris said, what you not going to do.
Right.
What you not gonna do is have me looking crazy. That's what Chris said. Chris said, "What you not gonna do."
That's that DMV and Chris. He said, "What you not gonna do?" Right? like really be said. He said, "This is Waldorf all day, every day." Look, he said,
"Not Waldorf all day, every day. Don't do that." But
right,
yeah, I agree. I feel like that scene, it was weird because it clearly did not sound like they were on the same page. It clearly did not sound like both of them were excited about the idea of adoption, that they were looking to it just doesn't sound like they had any prior conversations. But okay. Chris, sometimes what you gotta do on this reality TV thing, man. Sometimes you just gotta do that. We get it. We know. We understand.
Oh, look, now the chat's messing with them. All right. So, y'all, this I thought was super important. And maybe let me know if I skipped over because again, we was watching it live. Don't blame us, really be. Nell saw what I was dealing with. She was like, "You can't rewind." I was like, "Nah, girl." So Nicole and Keisha met up with Dr. Khan to try to move forward and communicate their feelings. And Nicole brings up the situation. And Keisha says that she was not an outside child. Now, really be, I want you to, because remember, you had a whole, our TikTok is lighting up with likes because you said, I ain't trying to offend nobody, mama. But she said that she was.
If you like it, then you like. She would have had it. If you like it, then
right.
You would
well, what we found out was that there was no ring.
Right. And
both of them was girlfriend. Listen. Frank was out doing his thing, sowing his wild oats, and he had 2 babies at the same time.
Right.
Nicole mama. Now, what we don't know is if Nicole mama got him by default, meaning Keisha mama said, I ain't gonna be a part of this love triangle no more. Me and my baby gonna step left. Or if Keisha and her mama didn't win the Frank lottery and Nicole mama won. That's what we don't know. We don't know. Lottery. I'm just saying. We don't know how Frank.
Y'all are the birds of a feather.
We don't know. No, seriously, because clearly there was a love triangle. Clearly the sisters knew it was 2 women involved. The sisters knew. So did Nicole mama know about the Keisha mama and vice versa, and they was cool with it until there was a baby involved? Did Frank make the decision? Like, how did we get here?
So I think, and I'm praying. And Chris, I know you can't tell us, so I ain't even gonna ask you. But I feel like from the previews, we're going to get that. Like the family is going to discuss it. The sisters,
it does look like. Yeah,
I think we're gonna get into and that's what I feel like we need that to. I think the girls need that if they already don't know the insides and outsides because they weren't around. They were children, right? They were being protected. But now you're adults. Let's tell you the real deal. And I'll be honest, and I feel bad sometimes for people who don't get an opportunity to like have their parents as they're older. So you can have those adult conversations, adult to adult. You know what I mean? To really realize stuff that was going on when you're a kid and have them explain it to you now that you're an adult. You know what I'm saying? And what was really going on. So I hope that happens. But yeah, basically Lakeisha said that she was a product of, another relationship, and that's what they was doing. And Aunt Jackie came and grabbed her up. She said that she believed her brother's father, because her mother had another child, was her dad. And then Aunt Jackie came and got her one day and said, no, this is your family. And it explains why she's always felt out of place, but her father didn't introduce her.
And it doesn't sound like her father was very active in her life, even after the fact. But did you catch when Lakeisha said he ain't really been a good daddy to none of his kids?
And so it's so funny because I feel like they would be completely mad at her. And this is, I might be reaching y'all. I don't know y'all family. Love y'all to pieces, really do. But from the outside looking in, it gives me the vibe that they have a trauma bond over the fact that their father really wasn't either one of them, whether he was in the household or whether he was outside the household. And that's the one thing they can bond on. But outside of that, because of the different mother situation and whatever, it caused they're trying to find, because I'm so confused as how Monet, I understand she's the younger sister and she's not as close in age, but it's hard for me to understand how Monet is able to be so close to Lakeisha and Nikki isn't.
Well, I think it's what you just said. Nicole and Nikki are 5 months apart. That makes a difference.
Well, I guess, yeah, it does.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about there's a difference of years versus months, Them women was pregnant at the same time. Probably had baby shower down the street from each other. They probably had friends in common.
But that's what I'm saying.
Really, at the Walmart buying strollers.
But why are we not mad? Why are we not mad at Frank? Why are we? Do you get what I'm saying?
Because women never get mad at the man. They always get mad at the other woman. You know that's how it works.
You need moms like our moms.
Especially if.
Oh, okay, absolutely, Chris. We can add you in if you wanted to come up.
Oh, if you want to come up, show can.
Oh, that she said show enough.
Show is. I hate that show is. But what I'm saying is, and when I say never, y'all, I don't mean never. There are times when, but generally speaking, y'all see two women in the street fighting over a man all day long. Why? He lying to both of y'all. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I dropped the link, Chris.
Especially if I'm gonna just use Nicole mother as an example because we know that's who stayed with him. Right. Especially if she ain't going nowhere. Why would she get mad at him? She's not leaving him.
Well, that's the thing. She wasn't even married to him yet, so she could have left.
But she wasn't going to, though. That's what I'm saying. That wasn't the choice. She wasn't going. Listen, what Evelyn Braxton tell them girls? Let that man cheat in peace.
Yeah.
Well,
if she knew she wasn't going nowhere, what I'm getting mad at him for? I ain't going nowhere. And like I said, they knew about each other, child. They knew about each other. They knew.
Ooh, okay.
That's my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Maybe. Well, I will say it's funny that Aunt Jackie just happened to find her and said, "Come here, girl."
No, Aunt Jackie knew who she was and where she was. And Jackie knew from the time that girl was born. Because listen, the sisters knew. The sisters always know. I bet you it was more to that story too. One of them women was probably friends with them women, with them sisters. It's more to that. That story is so layered.
Honestly, I actually believe that. I actually believe to a certain extent one of them were friends with her and probably.
Yeah, that story is very layered. And they knew who that girl was and they knew where she was that whole time, in my opinion.
Little baby said, yep, helping him cheat.
Despite everyone came around because that was her man and she ain't leaving.
And they'll be wrestling in the street over that same man. And then come to find out that he wasn't a great daddy to any of them because he probably was still in them streets.
Well, I mean, I just want them to give the heat to
Papa
Frank.
Was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home.
Okay? And that's why I just want them to stop giving the heat to everybody else in this whole, and let's just, like, I'm not saying you have to unite. I don't think that's also toxic. I don't think you have to unite over hate over your father or dislike over your father and his.
I agree.
But I also think that you have to recognize what it is and be able to step back and be, you know what I mean? And just have a mature situation and realize what it is and say, that sucks. This is who my father is. And now that I know who he is, how do I move forward with my siblings that he's created? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I that's just me. I think that I can't speak to anybody else's story. I just think that should be.
You know what? I agree with Keisha. I agree that she might have been nice to her face, but probably talk shit behind her back. And Nicole heard it all, and that's why Nicole feels some type of way.
And maybe to your point, maybe that's why Nicole didn't let her mother say what she wanted to say on camera about the situation.
Symmetry said that happened to her. She said my aunts knew about me, and so did their parents. They knew where I was and still do. Ooh wee. I'm telling you, especially, and listen, that's how them, especially in them smaller communities, they knew each other. You ain't gonna convince me that them sisters knew, because how else would they know to go get a DNA test with her? Them sisters knew. And so did Frank.
Y'all done got really be upset.
Frank knew he had them. Frank knew about them churn.
So basically, I think that they both agree. They feel like they're not being heard. What did y'all think about Nicole's reaction during the therapy? I think that she was very receptive and she listened, and I liked it. I felt like she could have gotten offended at times, and she didn't. She sat and she listened, and I was here for her. I was here for it because I
agree.
I expected her to have a rebuttal. just based off of what we seen from her and the fact that she was just open
I
to
think
listening.
just because she didn't open her mouth and say anything doesn't mean that she didn't feel some type of way. Because especially when Keisha says something, what did she say? I'm not the other child or something like that. The look on her face looked like she wanted to say something.
Right,
That
but she
opened
didn't,
up
and I
a
think that's
whole
what's important. I think it was important that she allowed Lakeisha to tell her story, because Lakeisha's story is not going to be the same as Nicole's, even if they were in the same place at the same time. My perception is my reality. Your perception is yours. So they were in a therapy session. So even though she, like you said, her face might have said it, and even though she might have felt a way, she allowed her to speak her truth. Doesn't mean it's the truth, but it's her truth.
Yeah, but that was hers. Why you didn't speak yours? We in therapy. Y'all both supposed to get it out.
But I think, well, I don't see it that way. I see what you're saying, though. But I guess I just didn't see it that way. I saw it as Nicole allowing her to speak because, like she said, Keisha's the one that keeps things bottled up. Keisha's the one that doesn't feel safe and doesn't feel comfortable. So I applauded Nicole because, honestly, I'm sure her inclination was to defend her mom. You know what I mean? So I applaud her for letting Keisha say her piece. Right, it is. It's a very hard situation. And to be honest with you, I applaud them for sharing it with us. I mean, I understand it's a reality show and all of that, but they ain't have to get in all of this. So I applaud them for sharing it. And it is a hard situation. And the sad thing is, unfortunately, the kids, and I know they're not kids, they're grown women, but the kids are paying for their parents' decisions.
Absolutely. That's the part.
And Lakeisha's mother is not even here to really add to that. I mean, Lakeisha knows what her mother told her and what she's learned over the years from other family or whatever. But Keisha's mom isn't here to defend whatever happened with her or whatever decision she made. You know what I mean? So,
hey, Taurus Moon.
Hey.
Yeah, it does. And that's where they are. Like, the kids absolutely are paying for the decisions that those adults, I mean, again, everybody now is an adult, but y'all know what I'm saying. But Nicole and Lakeisha are paying for the decisions that their parents made. And honestly, to be fair, and this is my opinion, this is no personal attack, it really sounds like their parents left them with a pile of shit to deal with. All the way around, from Frank to Nicole's mama to even Lakeisha's mama. It just sounds like it was a pile of, because it sounds like Lakeisha's mama allowed her to think that another man was her daddy until she was 7 years old. So it just sounds like it was a lot. And honestly, I don't blame any of them. I'm sure it was a lot. You talking about Black families down in the South. You know, y'all know how Black folk be with their business, child. You know how Black folk be with their business. And y'all know Black folk will make Black folk will lie about somebody, mama and daddy, in a minute, child. They'll lie, be like, your cousin is really your daddy, but he was too young to raise you, so we sent you to your aunt, and you won't find out to the family reunion 30 years later. Y'all know that's how Black families will do you. Y'all know.
You'll be raised by a hoe and be like, that's my sister.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, not the Diana Ross treatment when she had Chutney believing her daddy was a white man. Okay. And her daddy was very Gordy the whole time. Which everybody knew that her daddy was very Gordy, but let's be clear. But neither here nor there.
Hold on. Okay. Hey, Lemon Kush Pepper. I just wanted to say what's up. But what are y'all talking about? Diana Ross. Who is Chutney? Now y'all gotta fill me in. Y'all not talking not Tracy.
No, girl. Can you go sit down somewhere? Girl, Diana Ross, her oldest daughter, Chutney. Is her oldest? Is Tracy the oldest or is Chutney the oldest?
I thought Tracy was her oldest. That's why I was confused.
Maybe Tracy is. I don't remember which one is the oldest, but Chutney, her name is Chutney. I don't know who the hell named her Chutney, but her name is Chutney.
Was she a jelly? What is going on?
Okay, let me start. Let's rewind a little bit. I'm sorry. Let me put a pin in that. Because I clearly I need to figure out where to start this story with you, because I thought this was what everybody knew. So let me rewind a little bit. You do know that Diana Ross and Berry Gordy had an affair for a very long time.
Oh, yes. I knew that, of course.
Okay. Woo. All right. Woo, okay.
No, you know what? I'm a history buff, but I'm an old soul. You got
okay. So Chutney. Okay, Chutney is the oldest, right? Chutney is the oldest. When Diana Ross got pregnant with Chutney, she was dating a white man. They hadn't gotten married yet, but she got pregnant. She ended up marrying the white man. And when she had Chutney, everybody in the outside world believed, she told everybody that her husband was the father. Everybody on the inside knew that Berry Gordy, all of them knew who the daddy was, but they didn't tell the world. And when Berry Gordy wrote his book, when he wrote his memoir, he said it in the memoir. But everybody knew. Chutney knew that Berry Gordy. By that time, she knew Berry Gordy was her daddy. But when it first happened, because Berry Gordy was married.
So he admitted to being a deadbeat dad?
He wasn't no deadbeat dad. He just wasn't an active dad.
Oh, okay, so he paid.
But I guess it depends on your definition of deadbeat. Let me not say that. So yeah,
because if you didn't pay, if you let somebody assume the role of you as a father, that to me gives me deadbeat dad. If you let some,
it's Rhonda, that's Berry Gordy's daughter, so it's not Chutney. One of them damn daughters is Berry Gordy.
One of them damn. She got a lot of kids.
Yeah, she got like 6 kids.
But to me, that gives me, I feel like I heard like maybe she got pregnant by Brad. I didn't know if she had the baby or whatever the case may be. So she had the baby and clearly he let it go off like it wasn't his. So that's why I'm like, so he was a whole deadbeat daddy and then admitted to it in the memoir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And when I say they knew, what I'm saying is by the time Berry Gordy wrote his memoir, I thought it was Rhonda. Okay, Rhonda, whichever one it was. By the time he wrote his memoir, Rhonda was a grown-ass woman with kids. What I mean is they knew by then. I'm not going to say they knew all along. I'm going to say by the time he wrote the book, everybody knew. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Because she was actually there. Was it Rhonda? Whichever one it was, she was actually there. When he did his memoir and he released his book and everything, she was actually in the audience when he admit, they knew. The black child is Berry Gordy's. The other ones are biracial and have had active fathers. Yeah, because Donna Ross was married to the other ones. When she had them, she was married to the other ones' fathers. Yeah. The twins. Right. Yeah, the one she had the boys by, she was married to him. He was some rich dude, some billionaire over in Europe. That's when she lived in Europe. And then the white guy that's Tracy's dad. And I guess that would be Chutney then. Chutney's dad. Yeah, Rhonda was her. Okay, so Rhonda is the oldest, and Berry Gordy is the father. Now, Donna Ross got around. I'm just gonna call a thing, child. She slept. She got
around. Oh shit.
I was just gonna say you ain't never gonna name my child after no jelly, but they're really big. All right, so we get into the rodeo. Okay. It's time for that's your go now. It's my bad.
So of course, Nicole, she had to pop out and show niggas. Okay. She the rich auntie.
Okay? She is.
With that fur on. Huh?
Yeah, she had that mink on. She made sure she wore her little.
That's one thing she be dressed to the nines. I follow her, or she added me to her fashion group. I don't know what she was trying to say. Maybe because I said I dress like people. And then she added me to her fashion group. But I appreciate it, Nicole. Thank you. I'm about to buy
you to the fashion group.
I'm about to be looking. I won't look like you, but I'm gonna be dressed like you in about 5 seconds. I'm about to
add me, Nicole. Why you ain't add me to the fashion group, girl?
Because you didn't say you dress like Lakeisha.
I do. I dress closer to Lakeisha than her. She right. But Nicole be looking good. I can't even be mad at her, child. Nicole be looking good.
Right.
So, like we mentioned earlier, the first thing she did was go up to Chris, poke fun at him, talking about how he almost got fired, made sure he knew he's still on probation. Oscarine got there. They took a family picture. What's crazy is, what's her name? Jamisha's sister? Jaquita was the only one. I think Jamisha did too. That was
because we can call her Quita. She said Chris gave us permission to call her Quita. We can't call Jamisha Misha.
Okay.
Well, the sister cousins,
right?
The sister cousins was looking for their sister cousin Keisha. Okay, to take this family picture, and everybody just kind of took it without her and was like, we'll do it when she get here. But I ain't see no other picture taken when she got there. I'm just pointing that out. Nicole made a point to let.
No, I think they did take another picture. They did. You might have got a.
They did. They did.
Yeah, they did.
I
When she
remember
got.
I was about to say I did miss part of that scene,
Yeah.
so it's possible.
Oh, hold on.
Look who joins us.
Look, Uncle's here.
What's going on, y'all?
Our DC homie.
Right, like a Waldorf homie. So you were just about to come up. Actually, go ahead, Nels.
Yeah, I was just. Nicole was talking about how she was so proud of you. You know, after talking big stuff. You know, of course she got to poke fun. She got to, you know, talk her shit. But she did say that she was proud. And then, you know, they go inside and they see Nicole on Charlotte talking to Oscar Rain about selling a portion of the land. Jamisha really not feeling this because she like, girl, you ain't talk to me. You just kind of went behind our back and are you trying to take over? She was happy about being a project manager a little bit. Okay, a little bit. But Monet, she really want to know about all the other businesses. She's like, what's going on? Because, you know,
she works at the hair salon. And I can see that. I can see Monet being in hair.
And Oscar Green just kind of shut that down. It was basically like, y'all are
they was doing too much. They was doing too much.
You think they was doing too much? I was with Monet because I'm not gonna lie to you. I knew because I know the whole family's into the real estate. But when she said that she worked there, I said, I so see because if I was to get my hair done, I'm going to Monet. She gives me hair. She gives me hair bundles. I'm gonna look good.
You know what Oscar Green give me? That she used to whoop ass back in the day because all she did was this, and everybody shut the hell up. Ooh.
I'm gonna say this. What I mean by first of all,
ass back in the day.
First of all, and I know we have a guest up here, so we're gonna let the guest speak. But let me say this. First of all, let's rewind that scene a little bit. Nicole, who really been acting like she wasn't with this whole situation with the land, had a whole plan.
Yep, she showed it.
That she waited and got grandma by herself. Yep, well, first she got the auntie by herself. And the auntie was like, you know what? I could go for that. I could go for that plan. And then went and got grandma. She still ain't looped in the other Gen 3s, right? And while they was talking about the project with the housing, she changed the whole thing. And she didn't act like that was her idea at all. She said, well, Granny ain't said nothing about nothing. Y'all went and got her. Granny was outside dancing and enjoying herself. Y'all went and got Granny to have that conversation. And what I mean by it was too much was now you want her to settle every dispute with all of her inheritance, property, and everything else. Those are two different conversations. You talking about the land that you want to sell and develop versus the businesses that she owns. That's two different things. Not everybody wants her to make decisions on everything. That was too much. I'd have did the same thing. I'd have been like, this is a wrap. I'm not talking about now. I don't want to talk about none of it.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, thank you for joining us. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing? Just over here working. How y'all doing?
You work.
I see you back there. I see you back there with your love and marriage, Huntsville.
Oh yeah, you know. Shout out to the own family.
So, okay, I know you can't do an interview. We're gonna try to get you on here for a formal interview, but just on a general question, how are you feeling about everything? What they're showing us, what's being edited? Like, how are you feeling about it?
Oh, little baby said Team G1. I'm sorry. That was interesting to me.
How do I feel about honestly? So my personal opinion between the whole family situation, I feel like it's almost like a car crash, and everybody that was in this crash was hurt from it, right? And sometimes when we hurt, we end up to pointing fingers, who's to blame, and that kind of misses out on like, hey, how do we get to the healing part? In my opinion, that's just my perspective. Okay. And versus like pointing finger, and but that's not to downplay anybody's emotions. It's just more so like this happened. It wasn't cool. We hurt from it, but this is where I want to be. So how do we get over this this hump. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that'd be the part. And then actually seeing a lot of people even in y'all chats there have been in the same situation with in their family, and that does sucks. That hurts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was raised by my grandparents, but just due to my parents having me at a younger age, and my grandparents stepping in to help out.
Right.
So you know what I mean. So and then just imagine, like, my mom still cries about it to this day. Like, so I'm like, Mom, you did what you had to do to protect me. You was young, what case may be, to put me in a better environment. So at the
Right.
end of the day, you're a hero. You know what I mean? So, but in my opinion, I feel like it's really it's a it's trying to figure out how can they heal from it. Like, by the time I came into the family, I didn't know anything about that. So this is all kind of like news, like, oh, to me too. So
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, overall though, see, I don't want to turn this into an interview because
I was gonna say, because I want to know about that contract, sir. Because
Okay, let's talk about it.
Okay, all right, yeah, let's talk about the
like
contract.
I said, during the Olympic weeks, I don't know if you were responsible for that.
What's
And I
that?
would hate to be giving props to the wrong people, but
Okay.
over the last 2 weeks, it's been great.
Oh, which one? What you mean? On the Brady page?
On social media, just everything that y'all been putting out, the houses. I said I was getting ready to move to Houston. I ain't got no reason being down there, but I'm getting ready to buy a house in Houston for no reason.
Some like the fun. Okay, as far as like the fun stuff, like where you see them, I walk in, Misha pops the balloon. She there was a creative director that they hired to do that. Not a creative director, a social media person that they hired to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't me. The other more more well put together, I would say.
I was gonna say the ones with Nicole.
It depends on which one. Ooh.
Okay.
It kind of depends on which one. It kind of depends, because now
So do you
Nicole
do the house tour content, like when people see the houses and stuff? That's what you do.
Yeah. So that's what I'll do with Nicole. And so most time it's really me and Nicole working together. And then every now and then Misha she'll gain her strength to come step in and come from behind the desk.
Right.
And then she'll step into her role.
Okay. So yeah, then mostly what I seen was probably you then, because it's been Nicole, and I was like, that is doing it.
So now Nicole has a social media person. Jamisha has a social media person. She's stepping into her, her role of getting out there more. So yeah, they actually doing their thing. So,
okay.
Can you answer if you making more money yet?
I will say no, not yet. But y'all got to keep watching. I don't know if they're going to put this in. So we don't get to see the show. We get to see it when y'all see it.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're going to put this in the show, but y'all got to keep watching. I'm actually curious to see what they put in there.
Okay. Oh, we gonna keep watching. So did y'all get how many episodes? Is it 10? Do y'all know how many episodes there are?
We only got 8.
8. Okay, for a new show, it's usually between 10 and 8.
Okay.
So we have 3
and
more
you don't get a reunion, do you?
So 8 was going to be a reunion, but then I think due to the schedule getting pushed further back, I think they end up changing, just doing a whole extra episode.
Oh, okay. So okay. Have y'all heard anything about? Well, I know you probably can't tell us if you have, but about a season 2 pickup.
I haven't heard nothing about it. I haven't heard. Okay. I was kind of wondering who would be the next city.
Next city, y'all are the city.
Yeah,
y'all are.
It sounds like they plan to franchise it.
No, I do think they're gonna franchise it, but I feel like they are the anchor, and they're such a good anchor that you can't not bring them back and bring somebody else. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but because like you got Love and Marriage, Huntsville, Detroit. So yeah,
right. But they had to have so many seasons for us to really get committed. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
That's why I said I think y'all. This is just my opinion. From what I've been experiencing so far, so good. It hasn't been too crazy. It hasn't been too toxic. It's real life things that people go through. Family. Oh, look, he's like, I think it's been. I mean, honestly,
we got
compared to what we've seen on TV, and my co-host may not agree with me, but from what we've seen on TV, I honestly, this is why I like this. I come from a down home country family. And I love, yes, you're going to have spats. You're all not always going to get, but the fact that y'all can work together, love each other, do all the things together and still be family to me. The fact that you will let Nicole poke with you and just, you know what I mean? Be like,
man,
all right.
you know, y'all actually caught I will be transparent about this. Y'all caught the good side of things. Well, it's not necessarily bad. It was, they say me and Nicole act like brothers and sisters.
Right.
And actually, our birthdays are what, 2 days apart, 2 or 3 days apart. So
Ooh, now you know we got to get into it. What's your sign again? I think you told us.
I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So when we, but it's all love. But it's like you know, sometimes like I want to do it my way, she want to do it her way. Then it'd be like But then at the end of the day, a couple of days ago by, I was like, hey, my bad. You know, I shouldn't have. And then she was like, she'll apologize too. So yeah, Nicole. Honestly, yeah, Nicole's a teddy bear. So she's a gentle giant. So yeah,
she gives me that vibe. Like she's probably real, like business exterior on the outside, but if you get on the inside, she's probably really lovely.
Yeah, and definitely loyal to her family. So.
Oh yeah, she definitely seemed like she's loyal. Yeah, definitely does. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The one thing, my biggest fear, and I know what you guys said, you and Justin both let us know, listen, you know, this is family and we, you know, y'all can't tear it apart. Only we can do that. But that's really been my biggest fear as well. Because I do feel the same way. I mean, yes, it's reality TV. So yeah, we want to see a little bit of mess. We want to see a little bit of this and a little that. But for the most part, what we want is, you know, especially when it comes to Black excellence, like, we want to see that, you know what I mean? And so I agree. Like, yeah, give us a little mess, little argument, little this, a little that. Okay, that's cool. But at the end of the day, we don't want to see destruction. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think I might say coming into, we was like, oh, we're gonna be the new Sweetie Pies. I don't know if y'all remember that show, Sweetie Pies.
I said to everybody that I recommend the show to, I said it's like Sweetie. It's like how Sweetie Pie started off.
I love Sweetie Pie.
I absolutely say that every time.
I watch Sweetie Pie. So
I wasn't big into Sweetie Pies, but I know the premise of the show. It was based off the family dynamic. I was obsessed because you got to realize, Love and Marriage Huntsville. If I no longer like you, I don't have to deal with you. This is a totally different dynamic. We are family.
I think it was kind of different for the producers too. Like, because you know we'll be like, hey, I know we ain't supposed to talk. But my bad, you know what I'm saying? And then the producer find out, y'all, you know, why y'all talking? Y'all supposed to get that on camera? Like, oh, well, you know, it's different when it's like Atlanta Housewives. Like, if you don't, you know, hey, that person go their own way. But when you're family, you kind of like, hey,
and y'all are legitimately running businesses. Like, y'all have to talk. Like, y'all are legitimately working together. Like, there has to be some communication. So yeah, I get it. But I'm sure that from a production standpoint, it's like, no, we want to get that on camera. We want to get that on camera.
Yeah. But see, we'll be like, nah, man, I need to fix this. You know, especially when Nicole stormed out with my wife and her, and when my wife said what she said with the wall. Yeah. So I was like, oh damn, Nicole stormed out.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, yeah.
And only because. And shout out because she hopped up in the make sure you tell your wife I said hello. Because she hopped up in the chat to clear some things up. But do you think that I think that there's an overall feel, and maybe not overall, but I think that there's a feeling amongst the viewers that she doesn't go to bat for you, maybe because that's her cousins or her sister or whatever. The way that, and I just want your thoughts as a husband, not to mess up nothing in your. I ain't trying to mess up bedtime.
I'm gonna say that, Chris.
No pillow talk. I'm just
Chris. I'm gonna say this, especially on this panel. I'm the main one that says that.
No.
Honestly, she be going to bat for you. She be like, Jaquita don't defend him enough. She don't do it, and I be like, Jaquita's like me. I'm gonna play that fine line. I don't want no problems.
So you know what's funny? We do talk about that. So even way before the show, I'm like, yo, damn, babe, like it's like this line, and she like, hey, y'all work it out. I ain't in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but I be saying, in my opinion, I be feeling like, yo, you not saying nothing at all is just as wrong. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And so I'm not saying, hey, go fight your family. I'm just saying, like, you know, stand up for me when it comes down to like, well, hey, y'all saw on the show where Justice said he called, he wanted to book a section, and then instead of him actually booking, he wants to call, like go through the proper channels. And it was like, well, Red, nothing got done because you called me, said this is what you want to do, but it wasn't actually scheduled. You know what I'm saying? He told me what day, but it was like we had this conversation before, but like Red, just book it. Like I can't keep up with if you call me, hey, I want to do this, I'm gonna do that. That's a lot of people to keep up with. So I'll say that's why I have a website. Go on my website, book what day you want, and you know those are what those tools are for. So where that it's lines of communication, and where he was like, oh, he told Queen, I'm like, babe, you should have asked him, well, did you book? Did you do it the right way? When people book him for a show, do they, hey man, you know, it's like, no, you
Right.
have your proper channels that you need to go through. And but yeah, we definitely, man, that was like,
And can I just laugh at you real quick because
yeah.
I feel like you spent some time because you just called Justin Red, and that's such a Miami thing. That's such a
Red.
down
No,
south.
everyone called him Red though.
Red.
Now everyone called him, when I met him, everyone called him Red. So
Oh, so that's like a general, okay. Because
yeah,
they
yeah.
do that to refer to your skin
If
tone.
y'all come to pretty much, if y'all come to Houston, be like, hey, y'all know Red from them? Yeah, they'll know who you talking about.
Oh,
So,
wow. Okay, look, I'm gonna be dropping a restaurant. Red guy.
Yeah, I was almost down your way this month, but I just couldn't make it
I
work.
saw you be in Houston. I saw you was at a studio that I shot at one. Cause I was like, man, I remember that picture on the wall.
She really do, really be on the go for real.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my one of my, I'm gonna have to say one of my favorite little cousins, because somebody might see and get their feelings hurt. But one of my favorite little cousins, he just moved there about a year ago. Well, actually about a year and a half ago now. And so him and his fiance, they just had a baby. So I was down there. I've been to Houston like maybe 3 times. So we were gonna go see the baby because we haven't seen the baby. I haven't seen the baby at all since the baby was born. And those pictures that you saw, that was from the baby shower. They had that baby shower.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it is a nice place. The rooftop is real cute.
Hey, if you pay attention to the show, on some of the B-roll where they're showing downtown Houston, that's actually right down, not actually on the next block where you had your baby shower, where the train is coming across.
Yep. Because I knew it was a photo studio. It was real cute. They had like the different setups, the swing and all that, and then they had like a real rooftop. It's real cute.
Yeah,
it's a really cute little space. Yeah.
So
thank you, Gail. Thank you.
Yeah, on the show, where the train passes is right there to the left, where you got.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I remember that's when we parked in that parking lot. Like, what's it? Parking lot right across the street or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Look at that. See, yeah, because he saw the picture. He was like, "You've been to Houston," and I was like, "How does he know that's from Houston?" Right. But yeah. Yeah, we'll probably be down there.
I've only been on the Galleria Strip. That's all.
What? Oh, you got money then. Only people got money go to the Galleria.
Oh, look at her face.
Money.
You got money.
I mean, I was working for Marriott at the time, but I was getting a discount.
I was getting a discount.
That's when they still had I don't know. Do they still have the ice skating rink and all that stuff inside the Galleria?
Yeah.
But yeah, I only stay there because I work for Marriott at the time. I don't anymore. Yeah. So don't.
And then the park that
in the chat, I don't have the discount anymore. Don't hit me up for hotel room.
She's like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, and then it's funny at the park that it's called Discovery Grand, where Jamisha and Justin and their family had tonight. They actually do an ice skating rink there when it gets cold outside. So, as a matter of fact, in front of a Marriott, Marriott.
It gets cold outside in Houston. I'm not trying to be funny. No, I feel you. So that's why I thought your ice skating rink was indoors, because I said it's not cold outside.
So when they built that park, it's just something for people to do, go out downtown and have fun. So maybe like 40, 45 degrees at the most. So
Oh,
I
it
used to
gets
work
45 degrees?
lately it hasn't, but I mean, you all know the weather's been kind of tripping everywhere. But normally around that time, it will get like down to 40 at the most. You know,
Oh,
yeah,
I ain't never felt
maybe
that.
45 at the most. So
I
we
just know
don't see no snow.
y'all like Florida. Y'all get some rain real quick and then it'll stop and then the sun will come back out.
Right.
That's
So
a
when I
whole
used to work oil and gas, I used to work in North Dakota. When I used to travel North Dakota, it'd be like negative 25. I'm like, oh, this shit is cold. This is different. Especially living in Maryland when y'all getting snowed in, it's like, yeah, forget this. I'm cool with 40. 40 is cool.
negative 25. That's a whole situation.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a whole situation.
so now that you said that, so your past career, you were in electric or what were you doing?
No, I was in the oil field. So I was in oil and gas for about 10 and a half, going on 11 years. So and when what was that like the last time when the oil market just kind of did a drop, and so as a traveling supervisor, they cut all the travel supervisors first, because we wasn't local. So I'm in Houston, I would travel all over Cali, Pennsylvania, North Dakota,
Okay.
offshore. So actually they cut that scene out too. So well. And then when photography was just my hobby at the time, it was like, hey, I'll come home, do some of my own creative stuff. And then
Right.
everybody was like, you should do it as a business. And I was like, I don't know about that. Then started doing it as a business, like, okay, this might not be as bad. And then things just kind of took off from there, doing it as a business. So yeah.
Keep at it. But as I said in the beginning, I know you weren't here in the beginning. I respect you for not only doing your hustle, but doing what's responsible for your family.
Man, so that's why I say
I know that's sometimes a hard decision.
Y'all caught the good side, because the old Chris would be like, and then this is where Quita will say this is why she's better than me at this point, because I'm impulsive. I'm like, nah, fuck this shit, I'm out, forget you, so I'll figure it out.
That's Aquarius in you, boo.
That's me. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good regardless. I'll figure it out. And so Quita's more of the, babe, I think that's cool and all, but this how she break it down. She be like, but that's really kind of dumb if you didn't have nothing lined up. I be like, damn, you're right. But do you know what I'm saying? So then that's where we balance each other out, because more so the old Chris would be like, and it was a time called me, Misha, I quit. Fuck this. I'm out. Don't y'all. I quit. I can't work with y'all. I'm done. Misha was like, no. So that's why I say y'all get to kind of see the flip side to it, or whatever case may be. So,
but that's good marriage. You get the yin and the yang.
Yang, right?
Yeah, and I had to realize that, and I was like, oh, damn, I can't just be, I got to be responsible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, right.
Yeah.
I want to follow my dreams, but it might not be making me no money right now, or it might not be.
Right. So and that'd be the funny part. It'd be like, man, yeah. I mean, it was times I even told with Brand, say, hey. I may feel like working with me maybe holding y'all back as family. And the reason why I said it was because just because you're our family, people tend to be like, oh, okay, that's Chris. I have access to him anytime, right? Versus like when you have another person, you really treat it like as a business, as a business agreement, like, yeah, versus like, oh, I got him in my back pocket, I can pull him out anytime whenever I'm ready. Versus like, that's why I was saying like getting a schedule done, getting a contract, so we know what is what, versus like, oh yeah, trying to make it seem like I'm ghosting y'all, but it was like, I'll go for it, whatever.
So you're saying you really didn't ghost them, is what you're saying?
I was at that point, because I felt like I was begging. I'm gonna give y'all. I'll say this. I don't care if I get in trouble. I was begging. It was kind of crazy. I felt like, why am I begging them for work? And then people was like, bro, if you getting paid, fuck it. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm not gonna pull teeth in this. Shit. Because on one of the episodes when I was talking to Larry, I was like, Larry, there's times where I go to Nicole. Nicole would handle her client situation, but would never respond back to me, and I'm here. I'm like, hey, we need to talk about this. And then let's say a client call, she'll handle that client's problem. then that's where I felt like, oh well, forget me. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's yeah. So that's why I say y'all didn't get to see that part. By the time they say we were filming the show, this is when everything was going on within that part. So, but it's all cool. It's still family. Even the part where Jamisha that her broker's open, like, oh, did you tell Chris? I said nobody told me about it, but it's cool. I'll take it.
Have you ever brought them up here?
Cool.
Just a
Jamisha?
family. Have you brought them to the DMV to visit?
No.
No. You need to bring them to the DMV. I want to see how them country girls doing the DMV.
Oh man. I'm pretty sure they've been before, but I never brought them up here though. But you know, I'm from Houston. I just lived in Maryland about like 5-6 years.
Okay. Oh, so you're from Houston? I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Houston. Yeah,
okay.
I lived out there after graduating high school. Was supposed to come back to go to college, and then I ended up going to college out there. You know how that DMV life get you. Look,
we went to Miami. That's why we know. Yeah, you got to leave at a certain point and come back.
Right.
Right.
Look, she laughing.
Mm.
What other question y'all got? Look, y'all gonna get me in trouble.
Well, cool. I have a lot of questions, but I know that a lot of this stuff you can't really.
I'm hungry now. Let's go.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Well, how did y'all even get linked up on this? Like, okay, let me ask you this question: how long ago did y'all film all of this? Because a lot of times the filming,
like 2 years.
But how long ago did y'all film all of this?
We filmed the pilot. When did we film the pilot? We filmed the pilot last year. Last August, was it August? Cause I remember it being hot outside, and then I used to remember when we filmed the pilot. That made us wait. February this year is when we started filming for the show. Yeah.
Was it hard to get the family to sign on to do it?
Oh, I was the last one because I didn't want to.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Okay, you would have held out.
I didn't want it to be to where it will. Man, you know how some people on reality shows just don't. They. How can I explain it?
So okay, while you're thinking of what you're saying, do you feel like some of and because this has been your family for a while now, do you feel like some of your family members, castmates turn on when the cameras come on?
No, that's the fun thing. This is how.
Okay, I like that answer. Okay.
Yeah. This is. So I'm gonna tell y'all this. The scene where Aunt Nikki was crying. So I know everybody.
Talking about. He knew what you was talking about.
So look. No.
Everybody,
but they. Oh man, damn. So they cut the way they edited. It did make it seem like it was fake, but it was so real. No, she was really crying. So it was actually a part where we had to go outside, and I was like consoling, like, "Hey, Nikki, come," you know what I'm saying? Because she felt like it was her fault, but yeah, y'all gonna get me in trouble, but it's cool.
I appreciate you for saying that because even again, her own castmates said, "Girl, you are doing too much," and it definitely make it seem. So I can appreciate you.
Right. No, she was dead ass because even when she got home. She was like, none of y'all calling and checking. I was like, hey, Nikki, made sure you got home 5 minutes ago. She was like, oh, yeah. Well, ain't nobody else called. So, yeah, that was definitely for real.
What made you finally decide to actually sign on?
Man, you know how sometimes when you kind of like, when you staying alone, you kind of like, man, Chris, you don't want to be like the one to hold everybody else back. And so it was like, I didn't want it to give the image a bad rep. I didn't want it to, and I think the other deal was like, same question y'all have, like, will this jeopardize the family? Like, nobody knew going into this what will it be? Like, will it be good? Will it be good for the business? Will it be good for the family? Will people still want to do business with us? On here the way we, how we act. So it was like a lot of those were my questions, and it was kind of like,
how has business been since you've been on the show?
Business been good. Actually, it's been the same. It's been good. So I don't really. Most of the time, everybody recognize the girls. They don't really recognize the husband. They don't really. so, so they really
Are you glad
recognize the girl.
now?
I had like one person recognize me the other week, and then that really made my day. It was a, but I was but look, it had to be a church member, right? So I was like, oh yeah. So, it's always them church folks.
It's always the church folks.
Are you
Yeah.
now glad you did the show?
Huh?
Are you now glad that you did the show?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I feel so honestly, I feel like, oh, this is cool. They get to step in my element because they get to see what it really supposed to be like, versus like if me and Nicole shooting, she's like rushing or people don't understand the time that it takes to put in creating content or creating a production. So they finally got to see, even with a whole production crew and producers, how much time it takes to be. And even they're still shocked. They're like, "Man, we filmed all day, and they only use that part of it." Like that's part of production. So yeah,
Yeah, that's usually the biggest complaint as somebody, and I'll speak for Shade and City as well. As somebody that reviews reality TV, when we interview people, that is usually the biggest complaint is they shot so much and they cut it down, and people always feel like they left out the important part. You know what I mean? People always feel like, well, you left out the part that that I wanted you to leave in or that I think is important. So yeah, that is always a conversation. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. Do you think that they're painting, as far as editing, to go to Really B's point, do you think they're painting you husbands in the best light, editing wise? Because like you said, there's so much more you can see, but the way that they edit it down, it's like these, strong Black women, and then they have, you know what I mean? Outside, because Justin works in the, in the brokerage, so they kind of leave him alone, and he does his music thing. But I feel like you and Larry kind of get a bad deal. I'll be honest.
When they first dropped the press, and it was like, quit it carrying the weight, and I was like, what the, I'm like, that ain't true. My opinion, like that ain't true. You know what I'm saying? So, that part, yeah, I was like, nah, that ain't true. But then I was like, oh, well, maybe it tells the story of like me in business and growing the business or growing, so I say, so some of you kind of like so everything, the scenarios are true, and it's crazy how the show said they was filming, and it's like they came, like I said, it came at a good time because it was like this is what was really going on between the contracts and everything else, and I was like, dang, they came at a good time. How the hell did they know? And then so when they asking you like what you got going on, and then this is what really going on. But as far as like, yeah, me and Larry, we was like, damn, we the ain't shit husbands, like, like, man, I don't know if that was like misunderstood from them because they don't, they only get to spend so much time with us, or like, oh hey,
I
Chris and
think
Larry ain't
I think
shit.
it's twofold. I think as somebody who watches a lot of Carlos King, and again, they do too.
Yeah.
We all do, I should say. I think it was a victim of Carlos tends to have a type, right? Carlos tends to, he has a couple that's like this and a couple that's like that. If you look at all of the Love and Marriage, they always have those couples. And so I think unfortunately, whether we meant to or not, or whether it was sort of like we were like, oh, okay, so this is the couple that has this going on. Okay, this is the couple. So it's almost like you guys kind of got thrown into something based on the track record.
yeah, and that's crazy because I was like, that's funny. Because when they first did the initial meetup, I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to be in it. And it was just a family. And I just wanted to be a supporter. I was kind of like, this is about y'all and y'all family. I just wanted to support. Like, I didn't want to be a main cast or one of the main cast members. And then that's what. Then when they came like, hey, you gonna sign a contract? I'm like, I said, man, I'd rather just have the camera crew, whatever case may be. But then,
I'll be behind the camera.
So, but then honestly, just thinking about like, you know what, this may be beneficial for my wife. her and her real estate career and everything else. So I was like, let me just be a team player. But I didn't think there was gonna be. Oh shit! I'm in almost every episode. So
Yeah,
far,
you
yeah.
are.
So
Y'all
far,
have a
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so does Lakeisha work for you?
No. She doesn't. She doesn't. She
Okay,
works
so
for the
no, the
syndicate.
reason I asked that was because we saw and one of my friends who I was trying to get on the show said
Mhm.
I hated the scene where you guys were taking pictures and
Mhm.
she was left out. And to that narrative, how she always is left out. And I said,
Oh,
and so
so
I was defending it because
yeah,
I said, well, she's not part of the brokerage, which we know. But I
right.
said she was working for Chris, and Chris wasn't in the photos, so I was making it like that. But then when you say she doesn't work for you, that's why that's why that.
Oh, nah, she doesn't, but that particular day, she did volunteer to come out and assist.
Okay.
But see,
So
that's
and
not
I
how they
do,
made it seem. They made it seem like
Right,
she was
that's not how
working
they
for
make
yeah,
it.
you.
yeah, because then they
Because I
posted
did
that
the same
picture,
thing. Okay.
and they posted a picture, like a younger picture of her afterwards, like, oh, being um that part was kind of like, yeah, that was like, even though it was like, damn, that was dumb because she's not a part of the brokerage. That was a company photo shoot, and
But I
you
think
know,
they did it to show how like I said with editing, they
mhm.
did it to go to show how
Oh yeah,
she is.
yeah. But
And
that
like
was, I
I
feel
said,
like that
for
was a wrong
people
time to
watching
do it.
it that don't do this, that don't review reality shows,
Yeah.
they absolutely agreed. Oh my God, why are they treating Lakeisha like that? She's so left.
Nah. And that's the funny thing. Like, Lakeisha, she the one who volunteered to come out and help. Like,
Right.
yeah, you saw she went to the Brokers Open because she wants to be with her family. You know what I'm saying? So, Jamisha's, yeah, brokers, luncheon or with a dinner, whatever it's called.
The brunch.
So, the brunch,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, you
Nah,
called it
not at all.
everything. The lunch, the dinner,
Yeah,
whatever.
Look, so because I film all of their stuff, so they have a brokers open, a brokers lunch, a broker. So it's I'm like, damn, which one was it that day in the show? So like, oh, it was okay, lunch, yeah. So now that part, that's why I was kind of like, damn, that's weird. And I was like, I hated that they used that moment because I'm like, I was
But
like, man, I was.
this is why we were warning you
Mhm.
and Justin, and I get it, y'all are men. So, and I'm not saying that, but I think that women can be different because we kind of like emotionalize things a little bit.
Mhm.
And so
Mm.
when we see that on TV, when we hear comments on TV and the way that they edit it, we receive it. So even them watching it back may
Yeah.
feel differently than when whereas y'all are just like, that's what it was. You know what I mean? Or I don't
Yeah.
like that he did that, but y'all are able to move past it. Whereas we're
Yeah.
like, no, that's what she said. She must have meant that. She must
Yeah.
have felt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
let me ask you this, and then we're gonna get ready to let you go. Well,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna get ready to let you go. I can't speak for
right.
them.
Nah,
I'm
you good? What's going on? What you got?
So my first question, one is a question and then the second is a statement. But
Uh-huh.
my question is, if you guys get a season 2, what is it that you feel like they didn't quite get? I mean, obviously your business, I know, but what is it that you
Oh,
wish that like for next season that they would get that they didn't quite get this season?
and from my point of view, more education. Like, you guys see Misha speak on legacy, and I know they did the count, like how many times she said legacy, but it's actually more education about, hey, when you're, the black family or whatever, we tend to kick our kids out when they turn 18
right.
versus like, hey, save your money,
Mm,
buy you some land. Your first investment property don't have to be your dream property. It could be
absolutely.
your investment property. So more education for our community ourselves. And then
I agree with that.
that's one thing I do love about Jamisha. She's so nurturing and like a coach, and she like when she's speaking on it, she's really passionate about that. So to where it's like when I'm talking to her, like, oh dang, sis, I ain't never received it like that before. And so Jamisha is like the calm to the storm when it comes, like, she's more like their papa. He was such a gentle soul, calm, always showed up. And That's one of the things. And the other deal is like really show more of the operation of the brokerage, or even with the husbands too. Um, even like they cut out some of Justice show. I mean, not cut out, but some of his show, some of the
Poor
things he get
Justice
to.
show got towed up.
And see, and that's what one thing I don't like is like if they're gonna cut out Justin's show, at least show him working in the they said he's one of the top, and I've seen it in again
Yeah, yeah,
the social media content and
yeah.
him being on there and selling and promoting. But it's like I want to see that on the show. Stop. You know what I mean? And
Right,
that was
right.
the only thing
Yeah,
that I didn't like. And that's why I was asking you from a husband's point of view, how do
yeah.
y'all feel y'all are being portrayed?
Yes. Shit. Between me and Larry not being ain't shit, but we was me and Larry like, man, that's messed up. Like, I guess, but I think we just kind of not necessarily accepted it. We were just kind of like, hey, if it's for them, the love that we have for our wives, like, we'll go with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know the truth. We know, but then we also know like if you guys only get to see 30, 40 minutes with commercials and then you get to kind of see like, oh, I think that's what he's talking, or I think, what I'm saying.
Right.
So you guys don't really get the deep dive into what's real, not necessarily what's real, but like what's inside. So that part was definitely like, oh yeah, we the me and Larry ain't shit husband, but all right, we'll take it if it's for the show, we'll take it.
I will say one thing about your cast, and I really has said it before. Y'all came in, I don't know, like you said, you shot a pilot, so I don't know if y'all paid for that, and then whatever.
Nah, the network did that, so they did that, and that's how I kind of got caught up into it. Again, they came at the right time. Cause me and Nicole it wasn't like, so I don't believe in like me yelling at women or anything like that,
Right.
but I am very passionate. So, and I was kind of like, hey, Nicole, I don't think it was cool. I feel like we could have been more efficient. And that just kind of like led to a disagreement to where it's funny when they came for the pilot, they don't tell you, oh, hey, man, 2 or 3 months from now, we're coming to show up. They just be like, hey, we're coming to film tomorrow. Y'all ready? Be like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So with that going on, man, that was kind of like they caught that whole emotion of that. So it was like it's like a. So I'm gonna tell you, I originated the storm and walkout scene. If y'all do any other interview with the cast member, ask them who originated the storm and walkout scene. They'll tell you because it was so passionate. Everybody was like, "Yo, what the fuck just happened?" And but to answer your question, like we just kind of accept like, hey, that's what goes into it. If that's what goes into it, that's what goes into it. So as far as
I
like
appreciate
the
that. I appreciate. I mean, I appreciate that attitude. Like I said, I really enjoy the show. I enjoy your family. I'm loving getting to. I'm a history person, so when they talk about the history and the grandparents and how they bought up the property, and as a Black family in the deep South during those times to be able to build that legacy,
yeah,
I respect it. And for me, I know you've heard me say this, and I'm going to keep saying it. For me, this whole land thing is just a no-brainer based on their legacy. But again, I know there are layers to it. I understand there are layers to it.
Hey, y'all even caught the good side of y'all saw tonight. Granny don't play when she was.
Baby, when Granny
everybody was like,
did that, baby, like you said, everybody was like, everybody shut up.
And I was like, where was I at for this scene? Where the hell? But then
you was outside minding your business.
Exactly. And that's me. I'm like, look, I'm married in. That's them. They
you were outside minding the business that pays you.
Right.
But I know that me and you sort of talked offline. So please extend Shade in the City, Really BTV. We really love the cast. We love the show, and the door is open whenever you guys are available. Send us the information so we reach out to who we need to reach out to.
Did you reach out to Brenda or no?
Huh?
Did you reach out to Brenda?
I didn't get. Did you send me the information? I didn't get it. I didn't see it. Let me say this. I didn't see it. You might have seen it to me. I didn't see it.
She just came off a cruise. She been cruising, so she might have been,
I've been busy this summer. I might not have seen it.
Wait. You went on a cruise, so you came back to Texas, or where you left out of?
No, I left out of
Baltimore?
Miami. Out of Miami.
Okay.
Yeah. Nah, like I said, I was trying to get to Texas, but
I'm gonna say bye to y'all.
Night, boo.
Good night, Really B. Good night, Chris.
Good night.
We get ready to look.
She didn't tell you she leaving her child here, but go ahead.
Oh, you the real MVP then.
Right. I'm the best auntie, but it's my son's birthday, so he wants to have a sleepover.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably be in Houston. Well, it depends if they come this way with the baby, because I just want to see the baby, and I haven't seen her. So I'm trying
to come to Houston just to come. I just need a reason.
Come on down.
I just need you to put a cookout on the calendar, and I'm coming.
Look. One thing about them brands, they gonna do a cookout, man. So
yeah. Are we gonna be invited? If we come to Houston, we're gonna be invited to the function.
Look. If Granny need another generation 3 or 2,
she don't need no more. Look, she can't deal with the one. The ones that she got giving her a hard time.
Hey, look, Granny, y'all come when everybody's like, Granny's so nice and sweet. We were like, Granny don't play, man. When I met Granny she's welcoming, she's very welcoming, but you're not gonna be like not on your shit when that's the Granny, like, okay.
Listen, my grandmother was like that.
Yeah. I was gonna say my grandmother was like that. That's why I think I like this show, because it gives me, God rest my grandmother's soul, but it gives me good memories of because she was very straight, no chaser. This is what it is, and she didn't care if she hurt your feelings. She didn't know what it is, and I miss that. So watch.
Both my grandmothers were like that, child. They was listen. They were opposites, but when it came to stuff like that, they were both like, I couldn't listen. I couldn't catch a break between the two of them. So I understand. But yeah, send me her information and I'll reach out to her. Like I said, excuse me, we would love to talk to you and your wife and Justin and his wife and Nicole and the husband if they, want to come on. Lakeisha and her.
The funny thing, Larry did, because Larry's really camera shy, but he did good on camera. I was like, okay,
he did, tonight's scene he did good. They didn't seem to be on the same page, but he did a good job of articulating.
I was like, damn, I was more tensed up.
Okay. So my last question, because you seem to be really cool. Look, Really B said she was done.
Go ahead.
Wasn't done. Last question. So we touched on that. How do you feel about how they're painting this whole relationship situation with? Because they might be fine for all you know, because you're close to them. But the way they paint it and the way they edit it, it definitely makes it seem like, and everybody has problems in their marriage. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but they're definitely weighing, and that's in no shade. That's why it's painted like y'all two ain't.
Right. Oh, so what was your question? So how?
So basically, how do you feel about that? Like, because you have a relationship with Larry, you've seen it, you watched it, and you're like, oh, that's not, you know what I mean? Or maybe he really, because we honestly believe Larry knew what Nicole said. He just wasn't listening to
her. Oh man, I think we just kind of. So yes, in life, yes, every marriage, you're gonna have and I think that's between marriage, relationship, business, life. There's gonna be wind, the wind's gonna blow, right? But it's also, that's what really makes you who you are in your marriage, due to the fact of hey, anything I go through, I welcome it, because that's what builds my character, or that's what builds the strength that I need to. Because if everything was all good, when something goes bad, you'll never know how to handle it, right? But then at the end of the day, we are, one thing about us, we do recognize, hey, between the Handys, the Goodos, and the Martins, we do know that we are a team. So regardless of, hey, at the end of the day, that's my teammate. I got her back. I got, as long as we respectfully, with each other, and know that, you got to kind of realize too, hey, everything is not a fist fight. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff is just yi to the yang, or I agree to disagree. But yeah, when they kind of portrayed that to oh, we having problems or ain't shit. But then I kind of look at it too, like, you know what, this may be relatable for somebody else. So they're the producers, they're the editors, and
Right.
they're telling the story that they want to tell it. Now, if
Right.
it was something that, you know, it would be no different between if I do something for a client, I edit it where I want to edit it, then it's kind of like I'm doing it. So I kind of respect it in the same way because it was like, okay, maybe they're trying to draw people in to where it's relatable. Like, hey, because on the other side of it is there is a come together or agreement to where how do we overcome this in my so as long as they show that part, like how to overcome this, not just
But
naturally.
that's the part. As long
Yeah,
as they show that part. But if we just always
right,
discourse, then you build the audience up to dislike this man. And
right,
and why is he so uninvolved? Why is he not in tune with this? Why? Like one thing we
right.
can give you, you're you know, you pay
Yeah,
attention to what is going on with quit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
right.
so and I feel like sometimes Larry gets a bad break. I do.
It was funny. I would trade places with Larry. I'm like, man, look, because
You don't
Larry.
want to trade places with Larry.
So look, Larry, because Larry works. But you know what? That's how my schedule was. I'll be 21 days on and 7 days off. So, um, in my opinion, like showing, that's another part I would show. Hey, showing a black man making a sacrifice as a man to support his family. So that's another thing I would show. Like, hey,
Right.
it's okay to have your 9 to 5, go to work, come home, support your family. Yeah, that's what
And
we're supposed to do.
I actually respect him for not necessarily wanting to be in the family business and have his own thing. And like,
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah. And that's kind of like how I am too a little bit. I be like, hey, this is y'all thing, not necessarily mine, So, but they were like, well, you work with the brokers. I was like, yeah, but this is, even now they were like, oh, this their show. And they were like, no, you on the show too. I was like, nah, but this is their show. This is how I
Right.
look at it. Like, yeah,
I can
I'm just
respect
here
that.
so I don't get fired.
Yeah, I can respect that. And the funny thing is, and this is what I've learned, especially doing this, reviewing shows and stuff like that. You just can't make everybody happy. If Larry wasn't working and was like, my wife made good money, I'm gonna go to the studio or something,
Yeah.
Then they'd be like, what he living off his wife for?
Right.
Sometimes you can't win for losing.
Yeah.
And that's where I was saying, because I know with Carlos's shows, there tends to be that couple that's having problems, right? I was like, that's what I was saying when I was like, I was nervous about that, those categories of, well, they have the husband that's not pulling his weight, or the husband and the wife, they have this history of problems. That's what I was saying at the beginning, where I was like,
and you know what? And to be transparent, that did bother me because I brought that up to Quita. I was like, man, I don't know how I feel about it. That did kind of like when they was like, oh, I'm not caring. I'm like, what is I'm like, did you say something, or like was there like where are they getting this from? And that's funny, because now I'm like, why are they trying to paint this picture of like Chris is not carrying his weight with his business? I'm like, or then the other part of it too was when Queen was like, hey, I want another house, I want a new home, well, it's time for a new home. And then it was kind of like, okay, well, now I got to be like, okay, let me accept this position so that we can continue our home shopping. So yeah.
Right. Well, the way it was edited as if y'all didn't have a home at all, like y'all were renting or something.
That's when Christina hopped in the comments and cleared it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. She was kind of pissed off.
She was. Can I just say, and please go back and tell her, because I loved it. I love how she handled it. And even Lakeisha, when she dropped in our comment, and that's one thing I'm gonna say about y'all. And I didn't get to finish saying it, but I love the fact that y'all came ready for reality TV. And what I mean, I do, because the way that y'all handle things, like the way everybody has dropped in our comments, shared the love, and it's just like, oh, we appreciate, or they'll clear up anything, but it's not nasty, it's not toxic, it's just we're letting you know what it is. And that's what your wife did. She came in and just said, no, I had a house when we met, this was the house, and I'm ready to level up to the next house. But we're not renting nothing, and I can appreciate that. She wasn't there. She wasn't. And I loved it, and I told her, I said, thank you so much for just supporting us and taking the time to stop. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I love the fact that y'all didn't get on the defense, because we see a lot of people that get on these platforms and then they get very defensive because we as an audience speak on what we see, what is evident for us to see, and then you're mad by when we comment on it.
Right. Now, when I met Quita, shit, I wasn't even living in Houston. I would think I was stationed in San Antonio, and I was about to buy a house in Houston, and when I was moving back to Houston, and then she was like, well, you never here. So then she was like, why don't you move in? I was like, nah, I'm good. I think I told her like no, like 3 times. And then I found like, you know what? Let's try it. And then this is where we are now. So yeah, because I was like, nah, I was like, you know, as a man, I was like, nah, this your deal. Like, this is your you know what I'm saying, this is your problem. Like, you did this. I don't want to come in and shadow that. But she never made it feel like that. She always made it feel like, hey, this is your home just as well. And then but like now it's kind of like, hey, yes, I want a new home. And you know, it was like, okay, well, let's go look. But this, I don't know if it's gonna be on the show. I can't tell y'all that part. Okay,
that's okay. That's okay.
We'll wait.
Hopefully you will come back and see us, because clearly it's not over. We're on 5. You said you're gonna get 8. So
I'll come back and see y'all.
We got
we're gonna reach out to the person that you gave me, and we're gonna try to set up something formal so we can sit down and really talk about how y'all met and get into all of the nitty gritty. You know.
Tell us how they met. Oh, I would love to know that.
Yeah.
Oh, we went down in the DM. That's how we met.
Oh, okay, down in the DMs. All right, I ain't mad at it. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I need to hear her side of the story, though. I need to hear.
We're gonna get her up here. We're gonna get her side.
If you hear her side, she gonna say I was beating around the bush. If you hear her side, she gonna say
her side probably the truth.
I really wasn't. So that's I was just having simple, you know, conversing with back and forth about that was it. That's what it was, you know.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. I gotta get ready to go. I'm about to fall asleep.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, that's right. Y'all are hour ahead. Okay.
Yeah. Hour ahead, and I'm still listen. I'm still coming up off this vacation. Okay, I'm still recovering. Okay.
Look, and I got a 6-year-old today, so I gotta go pay attention to him before he's, you know.
Well, thank y'all for having me. Y'all do y'all thing. Thanks, you know, I like to pop up and anytime. So
thank you. Yes, and definitely, like I said, come back. We'll be here for the next couple Fridays. We'll be here.
Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much. Really be reviews supporters, Shade in the City supporters. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Follow us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the X, or whatever it is now, the IG. Yeah, y'all, we love y'all. And we'll, come back to see us next week for another recap of the Family Empire Houston. Have a good night.
All right. Peace.